You know what? I don't remember her calling me for supper. I don't know, maybe y'all do, but I don't. Hey, what's up, friends? Ray with Dock Timber Works. All right, what we got going on here is I got off work, worked a 10-hour shift, flying dudes up into cell phone towers, and I wanted to come home and relax, rough out a couple of bowls before supper. So I already roughed out 3. Y'all saw the walnut one, and the other 2 kind of beat me to death, and just things weren't going out right. So this was the last one, and this one went together good too. Yeah, man, them other 2 bowls, it took like an hour to rough out 2. It was, I don't know. I've got the footage for it. I don't know if I'll do anything with it because it just took way longer than it was supposed to. My gouge was sharp, but the sides were profiled wrong. I had been grinding it wrong, and it just wasn't cutting right. And then another one, I mounted it wrong, and I had to cut through a lot of pit and a lot of stuff to just whittle away a lot of material to get to a workable bowl. This one's pretty funny. A remnant piece of bark hit me right on the wrist bone, man. That bark will catch it right when you're not paying attention. That piece of bark hit me right on the wrist. All right, so some of the wood that I first started hauling off about a year ago is now starting to be kind of spalted, and that's kind of a pleasant surprise. I actually started hauling it off for barbecue wood and firewood and never got around to breaking it down, and kind of left it back there to spalt on purpose, and now it's starting to produce. So if I remember right, this is a nice piece of silver maple, and it's not as punky as some of the other stuff. I caught it right at the perfect time where it's going to have a nice bit of spalting and some really interesting grain and pattern look in it, but it's not just going to be a crumbly mess and just be miserable to work with. So y'all got to make sure to hang around and see how this bowl turns out here in hell, I'm working out of town the rest of this week, but put it in the kiln this weekend and have it ready to return in probably a week. All right, so a little bit of what's going on. This is my Hurricane bowl gouge. It's the first bowl gouge I bought. It's 5/8, bought it off Amazon. It's treated me well enough. I've got no complaints with it. The handle's a little bit on the light side. I like my Crown Ellsworth and my Sorby 5/8 gouge. Both of them 5/8, but their handles feel heavier. If that's the only drawback about this Hurricane gouge, is it's really lightweight. I have what I think is a 40/40 grind on there. I have no way to verify it. I've never really spent any hands-on time with other turners. I just go what's off YouTube, and I've watched a few demos of Stuart Batty and his SB Tools videos. And I believe I watched a little bit of Cindy Drozda's videos. But I platform sharpened it, and it seems to cut well enough. Now I know you're not supposed to use the baseball grip, and I'm trying to work more towards using my fingers more and my hand and muscling things around less and go more into finesse. But it's kind of hard to break my self-taught habits. You know, I first started turning with carbide and just jamming the thing in there. And so I've got a long learning curve on this, you know, doing everything self-taught. But I don't know. Some of the stuff I turn out looks pretty cool. So I'm learning and I'm getting things done. It's probably just not in the most efficient way possible. So I'm turning on a Rikon 14x20 VSR. It's been pretty good for me. I upgraded from a Harbor Freight 12x36 with the old Reeves drive. When this thing was an octagon, I started out probably 700, 750 RPM. And then once it's about this shape, I turn at about 1,000 RPM. I could probably go faster, but it seems to remove material good enough right here at 1,000. Most of the times I can get my tendon formed pretty good with the 5/8 bull gouge, but I didn't like the way the shoulder looked, so I grabbed my 1/2-inch spindle gouge to clean up that shoulder and make sure I had a good, proper formed tendon. The shoulder's critical. You got to have a good shoulder on there. You don't want any gaps. And then a lot of times what I also do, if it's going to be a twice turn bowl, is I'll round that little edge over so there's no hard lines to try and reduce cracking. I like using my woodworm screw. It may not be as fast as some other methods, but it works good for me. I'm comfortable with it. I like to run it with the 4-inch jaws on there. I get a good mating surface. And then I also usually try to form a 4-inch tenon for it, so it's just easy in, easy out. Keep on moving through the steps. Ready? All right, I'll be right there. I got a hold of this real quick. There's a lot of guys out there that like to haul the bowls with the tailstock in place and work more with the towards the rim, towards the center. I'm not comfortable that way. It may be a little bit safer, but that's not how I feel comfortable. I watch a lot of, like I said, Stuart Batty, David Ellsworth, Mike Mahoney, and Tomislav, and Richard Rappin. I'm way more comfortable starting from the center and just moving my way outwards. Turn how you feel comfortable and what works best for you. This is how I like to do it. That's what I love about turning. There's so many different ways to approach it. There's so many different techniques and tools you can use. You're not locked into a specific way of doing a specific thing. There's so much creativity and innovation that it's just truly amazing and a wonderful medium to work in. This right here is my favorite part. I'm just going to let this go. I love hollowing bowls. Okay, so this is a new tool for me, the bottom feeder. I've only used it on a couple of roughed out bowls. I used to use a scraper to do the bottom, or I would just use the 60-degree Ellsworth grind and do the whole bowl with the single gouge. But I like this tool. It hogs away material and it does what it's supposed to do pretty dang well. Again, it's one of those things where I watched the video and it seems to be doing things correctly, I guess. I don't know, it seems to work. But I just don't have a whole lot to go off of except for what I've seen other YouTubers do. This was originally just a Sorby 5/8 gouge that I reprofiled into that traditional grind, and I put it in my Sorby Sovereign handle because, well, to be honest, I didn't feel like turning a handle for it and was being lazy. I need to get around and just give it its own dedicated handle here sooner or later. It's kind of odd how addicting turning bowls is. I don't really feel the need or the want to do a lot of spindle work. I like turning bowls, but I need to do some dedicated spindle turning here pretty soon and turn some handles and some small tools. I need to make a point tool. I need to make a chatter tool, some texturing tools, some other stuff. Need to get off the bolt kick and start working more on the spindle side of things. Well, there she is. Thanks for hanging out with me and watching this video. If you enjoy it, please like, subscribe, leave me some comments. Please leave me some feedback. I need to know if I'm going in the right direction or not. I may have screwed the pooch on this channel by trying to go with chainsaws and barbecues and turning. It seems like I'm in kind of a limbo, and I don't know. I need to figure out how to fix it. But again, thanks for watching. Let me know what y'all think. Have a good one. Catch you on the next one. So these two went by pretty painless and easy. These ones gave me hell. It took me a while to figure out that I needed to reprofile my bowl gouge. I had ground away, I think, on the wings too much, and the nose was screwed up. And so I really fought with this first one. It shouldn't have taken that long, man. It took something stupid like an hour, you know, to rough out a bowl. That's ridiculous. This one went a lot faster, and I'm really kind of excited about this one. And then, well, I flew through the walnut, and then this thing, that's cool looking. I won't have to fight with all this tear out. That's gonna suck, but it should be pretty cool looking. All right, friends, thanks. We'll catch you next time.